Welcome to the Sankofa Pan-African series. We travel through history's corridors, illuminating Afrocentric narratives. Support us through Patreon or by buying me coffee. Your subscription is a great start, but do hit the bell for notifications so you know when we have new episodes. Share our videos and visit our website sankofastorybooks.com for stories, biographies, Afrocentric nursery rhymes, and other resources for children. Together can change the negative narratives about us.
The recent abduction of Dele Farotimi, a prominent Nigerian human rights lawyer, by the Nigerian police, is a stark reminder of the alarming erosion of justice, freedom, and democracy in the country. Dele Farotimi has long been a vocal advocate for human rights and good governance, challenging systemic corruption and oppressive practices. His sudden and forceful detainment is not only an attack on him, but also on the principles of justice and democracy that every Nigerian citizen deserves. While the Nigerian police force is empowered to investigate crimes, this authority must always be exercised in strict compliance with the law and in relation to offences recognised under Nigerian legislation. In the case of Dele Farotimi, the offence of libel for which he was reportedly arrested is not recognised as a criminal offence under the laws of Lagos State. The Criminal Law of Lagos State 2011 decriminalised defamation by deliberately omitting it from its provisions. This legislative reform aligns with global best practices, which regard defamation as a civil matter rather than a criminal offence. Dele Farotimi has been a fearless critic of human rights abuses in Nigeria, often standing on the side of the oppressed and marginalised. His dedication to transparency and accountability has made him a beacon of hope for many, but it has also made him a target for those who seek to silence dissent. Reports of his abduction indicate a blatant misuse of police power. Instead of protecting citizens and upholding the rule of law, the Nigerian police have engaged in actions that threaten fundamental human rights. Farotimi's detention without due process is a clear violation of constitutional guarantees, including the right to freedom of expression, assembly, and a fair trial. The abduction of Dele Farotimi is not an isolated incident, but part of a troubling pattern of repression in Nigeria. Activists, journalists, and citizens who dare to speak out against injustice increasingly face intimidation, arrest, or worse. This trend undermines the democratic values that Nigeria has worked hard to build and sends a chilling message to those who fight for justice and accountability. Farotimi's abduction highlights the dangers faced by those who advocate for human rights in Nigeria. It raises questions about the safety of activists and the lengths to which authorities will go to suppress dissent. When law enforcement agencies engage in extrajudicial actions, they undermine the very rule of law they are meant to uphold. This breeds a culture of impunity where those in power act without accountability. How can a democracy function when voices of dissent are silenced? Farotimi's abduction is a direct assault on free expression and the principles of democratic governance. What must be done? The abduction of Dele Farotimi demands swift and decisive action. Farotimi must be released without conditions, and his rights must be fully restored. An impartial inquiry into his abduction must be conducted to hold those responsible accountable. The Nigerian police must undergo significant reforms to prevent misuse of power and ensure they act in accordance with the law. Mechanisms must be established to protect human rights defenders and ensure they can operate without fear of harassment or persecution. The abduction of Dele Farotimi is a moment for all Nigerians and the international community to stand in solidarity against oppression. Activists, civil society organizations, and ordinary citizens must amplify their voices to demand justice for Farotimi and accountability from the Nigerian government. This is not just about one man, it is about the future of Nigeria's democracy. This silencing of voices like Farotimi's sets a dangerous precedent, one that risks plunging the nation into deeper authoritarianism. It is imperative that we stand firm in the face of these challenges, advocating for the justice and freedom that every Nigerian deserves. Dele Farotimi's abduction is a wake-up call for all who believe in justice, democracy, and human rights. It is a reminder that the fight for freedom is ongoing and that silence in the face of oppression is complicity. Let's stand together and demand accountability. Let's send a clear message that no one is above the law and that the rights of every citizen must be protected.